flight last night from Portugal. I really want to stay longer there, but I commit to this day, so here I am. Still very cold. It was an amazing weather there. We are just waiting for the machine to warm up. And I'm really happy that we finished lunch. The last time they invited me to talk was over lunch, and I find quite a challenge to have toilet talk over lunch. So I'm much happier that we just eat. I put this picture here just for you to have an idea how big is our colon. And normally your colon is if we stretch it up, is as high as you. So it's quite a big and important organ for us to be concerned about it. I'm going to start to explain a little bit how my machine works. So we go step by step, because I know it's kind of a taboo to talk about all the rest. Okay, so how does it work? What is colon hydrotherapy? Colon hydrotherapy is a way to clean your body and removing waste from the large intestine without the use of chemicals. So we introduce, like, the treatment dures around 45 minutes, and during that 45 minutes I put water in and water come out too, and so that water will dilute lots of toxins present in your colon. By the way, as you see, I have a really strong accent, and sometimes I actually create words. I call them Portal English. And sometimes it's really good because people just think it's a really weird medical term, so they don't ask me what you mean. Please ask. So this is my machine. My machine is really good, and it is very safe in terms of sanitation. And the reason why is, number one, is FDA approved. So there's lots of people out there doing colon hydrotherapy with the most amazing instruments. This one is totally safe. This machine has, as you see, a water system. So the water it has 2 filters and also ultraviolet light. So it's a quite clean and safe water. I also have, I don't know if I know how to work the light. There it is. Here I regulate the temperature. The temperature cannot go more higher than 38 degrees. And if it goes, the machine shuts down. So it's quite safe. I also have, I never know how to say this the right word in English. I believe is gauge for pressure, and that's a huge difference also from a regular enema and this machine. And the reason why is I work with pressure water, and the reason why pressure water is so good is I go all over your colon, not just the first part, so I can take much more out. The pressure, however, it only goes to tube C, or translation to our regular language is, I will not blow out your colon. It's very safe. And once more, if anybody has a blockage in, like a tumor, polyps, whatever, it creates pressure. And if I'm really not paying attention and looking to there and talk to you, the machine again will shut down. So it's a very safe machine. Over here, you cannot see very well because for the picture I turned the light off, or you will just see a flash. There's a pipe there with light behind, so whatever comes out of you, I will see it. And actually it was very interesting, because I was telling John that lots of people that buy synthetic vitamins, I can see them come out there, not digested at all. So whatever comes out, I will see it over that pipe there. Okay. The machine also has a build-up purification. I disinfect my full machine between each person, but even like that, he has a backup valve. What means is whatever goes inside doesn't come out. So, and I use, everything is disposable. So I actually brought it here, so you can have a look. So that's what I use. And all the speculums are disposable, so there's really no contamination. Here is the room where I work. So you comfortable, lie down. Everything happens in this table. So that's another difference from an enema and a colonic. The colonic, I use two, how can I call these in English? There's the water goes in and out, and everything comes out through the machine. So it's not like I don't put water and you run in the washroom. You just right there, you lie down in your bed.
Did you show them that?
You are using, I'm just kind of breaking the ice and explain these things, because I swear you, almost people don't come to colonics because they think they're going to poo in front of me. They're going to be there with a bum like that and I'm just looking. They're going to be, it's going to smell horrible. It's not true. So you're quite decent. I only brought a girl pants, sorry man. I swear I will not put you on flowers. So you're gonna wear these pajama pants. They just have a little hole in the back. So you're gonna be lie down in your bed, wearing pajama pants. So you're very modest. You're not there showing everything. Of course, you hooked to the speculum and the hose that is also connected to my machine, but there's no smell. Normally there's no pain. We are blabbing. Sometimes you have like a slight feeling of diarrhea. It's like, you know, I want to go, but it's that simple. Oops, I keep pointing there. So, colon hydrotherapy is a very safe and comfortable experience. I brought these pictures because I think they show very well. See, if your colon is totally full, here will be the first phase where we put some water in. And here, if you do an enema, the water only goes to this part here. See? With the colon hydrotherapy, the water goes further and further and further till the end. And you all clean up. I know, it's just funny. It's amazing how we still laugh at this age about talking about poo. So why should I take care of my colon? And lots of people ask me the question, why do we need colon hydrotherapy? Like years ago, nobody did it. It's not enough just go every day in the washroom. My answer is no, it isn't. And, oops, it isn't enough. And before John talked about that, we don't eat like we used to eat before. We don't breathe what we used to breathe before. So even if you eat raw food, you exercise every day, you still breathe. There's pesticides in everywhere. Our body needs to detox, so we need to do it. And we can also do colon hydrotherapy as a prevention. And why should we do it as a prevention? The reason why is our liver is the main organ to detox our body. If our colon is packed with toxins, the liver is working really hard to try it. And if we don't eliminate it, all the other organs that are responsible for elimination in our body, like the kidneys, your lymphatic system, your skin, your lungs, they're going to be overworking. Lots of people have rashes. Why? Because your body cannot get rid of all the toxins, so he's trying to take them out through your skin. Your lymphatic system will be totally clogged up if you don't eliminate what you should eliminate. There's lots of women with cancer and the lymphatic system is just not working properly. So our food, the people that eat processed food, I don't know if you ever did an experience, but I challenge you to do. If you make an hamburger homemade and buy one at McDonald's, put them both in a Tupperware box and keep them for 2 weeks. The hamburger that is homemade will start decomposing. The other one will be exactly like when you bought it. So imagine that inside of your body. Like, your body will be working so hard to try to decompose that food. It's almost impossible to break down. It's like eating plastic. You just can't do it. So what I used to say to people is, what we are doing to our body is, imagine that you are working 4 shifts a day with very little sleep. Yeah. Imagine, how would you feel?
Awful.
That's what we are doing to our body, especially our liver. It's hard. I'm not going to say the word. I'm going to be really fancy and say CRAP. So the average people are carrying several pounds of dried fecal matter. So almost all of us eat lots of products with flour, with dairy, and processed foods with preservatives. We cannot digest that very fast. Where it goes? Just stays there a long time. So lots of people, even that they go every day in the washroom, they have a huge build-up of fecal matter around the colon. Lots of people, for example, their stool is really thin. Why? Because there's a huge build-up of fecal matter around the colon. I will say that, unfortunately, almost North American people have a love affair for coffee, and that's the C. Refined sugar is the R. Scratch alcohol and processed food. They love crap. And who pays? Our body. Because we cannot process that very well. And as an example, I just give you an example of myself. Since a while ago, I was suffering from horrible back pain. And I'm also a certified shiatsu therapist, and I worked for 7 years with a team of 7 naturopaths. And as you know, I'm well informed about what to do. I tried everything. That thing will not go away. I did all kinds of therapies, acupuncture, physiotherapy, chiropractor, you name it. And I was just getting worse and worse. And in my age, with the hormonal change that probably lots of women here experience the same, our body just changed. Everything starts being very different. And I tried everything. And then I did live blood analysis. And I went there quite suspicious. But when the analyst told me, you have a problem in your left hip, and she said, see here, you see? And I'm looking, I saw something different. I had no clue that was my hip. But it was there, and it was amazing. And I just really, really pay attention what she told me, and I start changing my diet. And one of the things that went right away out was gluten. And I can tell you, in 3 weeks of putting wheat out of my diet, I had no more back pain. Was that easy? And that was unbelievable. As I told you too, I came yesterday from Portugal. Portuguese live on bread. They just love bread. And it's this smell, like they cook fresh bread 3 times a day. They don't eat old bread. And unfortunately, it was one of the things that I missed the most. I didn't went to see my family in Portugal for 6 years. So as you can imagine, yes, I sing, I eat tons of bread. And today I get up and I felt it right back in my back. So the thing is, when you start being clean, and suddenly you eat things that you used to eat before, our body feels it right away. And it's bad, but in one way it's very good, because I know right away what it was. So, no crap. Unfortunately, in big, this image is not the best. I just put this here so you can see several problems that can occur in your colon. And one of the things that I want to talk about it is you should eat and go in the washroom at least 3 times a day to have a quite clean colon. Unfortunately, like I have a client of mine that just came to see me not long ago, and she told me, you know, I go 3 days without going. And I went to see my doctor, and my doctor says that's normal in your age, especially after menopause. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So imagine if you put in the top of your skin something really toxic and leave it there for 3 days. Can you imagine how irritated could be your skin? Why is your colon different? It isn't. So I don't know also if you're aware, but cancer, colon cancer in North America is for men #1 and #2 for women. It's serious. And one of the main reasons is how long we leave all that toxic matter in contact to our colon. So here, I don't know if you can see well, but it's some of the problems and irritations that can happen in your colon. And also just to give you an idea, if your colon doesn't work and decides I'm in strike, your legs start falling apart and you can't walk, you will be blind. So I think there's a joke around there, I don't know the full joke, but it's very true that the colon is the boss, there's no question.
Wow.
If it shuts down, your body shuts down, period. This is kind of gross, but I just want you to have an idea. This gentleman here with this ginormous belly, he was in a senior's home, and unfortunately, I don't think the people that were taking care of him were very efficient. And they let him go for almost 30 days without going to the washroom.
Oh.
And he was complaining for several days of abdominal pain. He even, if you look right here, he got a hernia. When the doctors got to see him, he went to the hospital, there was not even noise of gas passing through. Unfortunately, he died right away after. And this is his colon. That's how much it was inside. And unfortunately, not to this exaggeration, but there's lots of people that walk with very similar things like that because they just don't go in the washroom. So it's really, really important to think about what you eat. And lots of people also suffer from bloating and they think it's normal. It isn't. If you really suffering from bloating, it's because you're not processing your foods well. So, and also if you eat really fast, all your food is in your colon, but it goes there in big chunks. And what's going to happen? For that to become stool or poo, it's going to need to be break down. And the only way is by rotten. So it's pretty much like carrying a compost bucket.
Wow.
It's disgusting. So what that means is if you carry lots, like if you don't go in the washroom, what's going to happen is you are intoxifying your body. So all the stool is there. There's a part of your colon that still reabsorbs the water back to your body. And like, I'm going back a little back. Imagine you eat. All your digestion is done in the small intestine. And then whatever your body doesn't want and is waste is passed to your colon, to your large intestine. But if it just stays there, the toxins are also reabsorbed in some way. So if you're not going to the washroom for 3, 4, 30 days, you just intoxifying your body. So that's what happened to him. Yeah. Here there's another example. So this is the shape of a healthy colon. If you don't go to the washroom for a long time, or for example, if you use laxatives, almost people think it's just cool to use laxatives because if you go in the hospital and because you don't go for a while, that's what they give you. Laxatives create an habituation, plus what the laxatives do too is your colon gets used to go without exercise and it starts getting relaxed. So your colon prolapse. It's just, it loses the muscle. It's like if you're in the bed for a long time and just someone move you a little bit your legs every day, you have no muscle. The same will happen to the colon. So here, there's several shapes of the colon. After some of them because of laxatives, some of them because of just constipation, etc. And so one of the things that colonics does that in my opinion is great, and it's very different from taking laxatives, is we put the water in and it's kind of like taking your colon to the gym. It's true. Because it's gonna obligate the colon to work with his own peristatals. Peristatals is his own movement. So it's very different from a laxative that is just going to really irritate your colon and provocate kind of a diarrhea and put it out. And it doesn't clean the full colon too. Once more, it only cleans the first part of the colon. And so colon hydrotherapy is very efficient because it goes through all, plus it stimulates your normal movement to push it out.
So can it, if somebody has a colon like that, can going through hydrotherapy make it back to healthy?
It really depends. If it's in these bad shapes, sometimes it doesn't go back to the regular shape. What I recommend, it will become much better. I have a client that she suffered from really severe constipation, and we had tests from before and after, and there was a huge improvement. But I don't believe she's going to go totally back to normal, but she's going in the washroom by herself. But she didn't change just her diet, and that's one of the things that is actually my passion. I'm a totally believer that constipation is not just a physical issue. I think there's lots of emotional constipation associated. So that's one of the things that I love to do with my clients, is go a little bit through what is the source. And I don't deal just with constipation, I deal with several issues related to digestion. So lots of times, for example, that client, she started going also in the gym and do abs. Like, we need to exercise these muscles to kind of hold it in. Other thing that I see a lot, as you saw before, my machine has like a pipe with light behind where I can see everything that passed through. And I see the most amazing things, as you can believe. Actually, I have a friend of mine in Portugal that years ago I used to love to read the tarot and things like that. And the other day I was commenting to her and I said, you know, I just love, I can see who they are just through the poo. And she starts laughing and she says, oh, now you are a shitty reader. I think so. But it's true, I just can. And so one of the most common things, it's actually candida, yeast. Unfortunately, almost all of us have it. One of the tests that I recommend to all of you, just to make sure you have candida or not, is the saliva test. And it's very easy because you just spit in your glass and very shortly you will see if you have it or not. I can see it pass through very easily. And candida is really bad. And one of the reasons is almost people eat lots of sugar. And candida just lives on sugar, as cancer does too. So if our pH is very acid and you have candida, you're just creating the best environment for parasites, for bacteria, for everything you don't want in your body. And so that's a very important thing. So if you have candida, colonics will be awesome for you too. And I tell almost people does it, unfortunately. So other things also, I can see, this is another story that I love. One time I had actually a client with candida, like lots, we're not talking little, and I put them in a cleanse. What is a diet for? It depends how severe it is. Like the minimum I do is 10 days, but normal is much bigger. And of course she was cheating. And then we were doing colonics at the same time. What is something that I truly recommend is you doing a big cleanse and at the same time do colonics. And she come by, and I'm just seeing grapes. There's grapes. And one of the things I told her was no fruit. And in some cases, I allowed 1 piece of fruit a day when we're doing the Candida cleanse. Sometimes I just take it totally off. And I asked her, are you eating fruit or grapes? And she's like, no. And I was thinking, maybe I'm seeing something wrong. But then there were so many that I just show her, and she just starts laughing. She says, okay, I did it yesterday. So I can see everything there. So enjoy the benefits of colon therapy. Lots of my clients that are on painkillers for back pain, for many other, lots of people now have what they call the fibromyalgia, what in my opinion is totally just a diet issue, that's it. And it's very easy to get rid of. So one of the things I love is after of working with a patient for long periods of time and they have no more need of drugs. And that to me is like, yeah. So lots of people also say that after colonics they sleep much better. So if your body is totally clean, you feel much more energy, you sleep better. And one amazing thing is you feel so much more clear, like all that foggy head is gone. I didn't put here, but I just want you to be aware, so when you go home and you go in the washroom, you can have an idea if you really need it or not. A healthy stool should not float or fall right away, be in the bottom of the toilet, should be kind of half-half. So it's a sign of kind of toxic if that happens. So my suggestion to you is that a colonic is a gift that you give to yourself and to your body, mind and soul, because it's the full picture that we are looking here. And you know, you're really comfortable there. There's no reason whatsoever for us not to have a colonic. And with these, I say thank you. I don't know, I left a little bit of time in the end because I'm open to any questions. And so please be free to any question. What's your name?
For children that are constipated, can they do colonics?
Normally for children, I don't love to work with children just for constipation. I've been working with lots of children for more severe reasons, and the reason why is it can be a little traumatic for them because I'm putting something up there. Not that much, I only put maximum 2 inches, but I love to talk and they can come and see me, and what I do is lots of times I just do a diet plan with the parents, and if that doesn't work and if it's already creating severe problems in their health, then I will definitely do it. But I will first change their diet before I need a colonic.
At what age should they start? Or can they? Is recommended? Because I have
around 12. But I worked when I used to work in Fort Langley Integrated Health Clinic, and one part of the clinic it is still a cancer clinic.
Yeah.
So I worked a lot with cancer children and also children with lupus, and there's no question there. So I did colonics to them because the benefit overcome the trauma. but it's a challenge for them.
She's over 12. I was just wondering, she's having problems with her.
Yeah. I think over 12 they are okay, because one of the issues here is it takes 45 minutes
Yeah.
where they need to be still. Like if they run away, the hose comes out.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a challenge to have a 6-year-old, you know what I mean, lie down there with, okay, I'm putting water in, and it's just too much of a challenge for them.
It's better than a suppository.
And it can be a little bit traumatic.
Yeah, of course. No,
Even that I have children's speculum.
Yeah. I still consider her a child. But
Yeah. So we always need to think, like, is this more positive than the trauma? And as I tell you, I have this girl with very severe lupus, and unfortunately, the doctors were treating her with chemotherapy, what tofu. And she used to come and just cry in the beginning, and then I just told her, you know, you're the boss here. And if you want me to stop, I stop. And she calmed down, she allowed me to do it. We used to put children videos. She was a big fan of Elmo. So she passed the full session with my iPhone looking to Elmo. But it was a big challenge for her. And yeah. Yes.
What about heavy metal detox through colon therapy?
Heavy metals. Lots of people that were doing, I work with lots of people doing chelation and at the same time doing colonics. And it's amazing because I worked for many, many years with people doing that, and you can see almost the metal there when they are detoxifying. It's amazing, the result. I highly recommend, if you are doing any kind of cleanse, that you do the colonics at the same time, because if you are detoxifying, you want the toxins there as less time as possible. So I really, really, really recommend to do it.
So how many would you do on, say, a 10-day cleanse?
In the 10, I will recommend at least 2 a week. There's several different treatments. There's some people, for example, do the 14-day challenge, what is one almost every day. But in average, in 10 days, I will say at least 3 minimum. Yeah, just to make, and I always recommend too that before you start the cleanse, that you clean your colon. And special, for example, even if you go in raw food, I highly, highly recommend that you do a series of colonics before you go in. Especially if you had lots of constipation for many years, for almost sure you have a leaking colon. So if you start right away raw without doing kind of a colon cleanse, there's lots of toxins that are in your body, in your colon, that start being released. And if it's a leaking colon, they go straight to your bloodstream, and you can have huge reaction of detoxification. Like, I've seen the most amazing things. So I really recommend, if you go into any big diet change, if you want to do any cleanse, do colonics before and then during. I highly recommend that.
Do you have wheatgrass or
Excuse me?
organic coffee? You mentioned a leaking colon. What's that?
Leaking colon? It's, for example, imagine you see that man that is here. Oops, where is he? That colon stretch. He stretched so much. Like, if I do this to my shirt and I stretch it each time more, can you see little holes there? That's a leaking colon. It leaks. He cannot hold what he should inside anymore. So and so that's one of the major problems also, to keep so much stuff there. And lots of people go, for example, straight to raw food with a leaking colon. I don't recommend. But all the others, like, it's the best we can do to our bodies, raw food. But each case is a case. Like, if you really want to change, you need to see first where you are to make a plan how to go.
That's disgusting, having poo go into your blood. So,
Excuse me?
I'm just saying, it's really disgusting having poo go into your blood.
It's not the poo itself, but it will be like the toxins.
Toxins?
Yeah. It's not that big, the holes.
Okay, I know, it's tiny. Do you do, Sophia, do you do wheatgrass or organic coffee?
Yes, I use several things. So in my machine, let's see if we can go to the first. I'll show you right here. Oh, actually here we cannot see it. Yeah, maybe here. See here? There's like a bottle in the top.
Yeah.
So that's what I call the enema. So the machine does all the clean. And then in this jar here, I can mix whatever I want to be mixed with the water. So I use wheatgrass. I can use, I have a special coffee too. So we can have lots of tea parties there. I use coffee, I use special teas, aloe vera, citricidal. I have a huge spectrum of stuff that I can mix with the water to help. And of course that will depend on why you are there and what we are treating. So everybody asks me what is coffee. So I have a very special coffee, and one of the things the coffee really helps is to detoxify your liver. And the reason, and some people ask me, how can you use coffee and you're telling me not to drink coffee? It's a very easy answer. When you drink coffee this way, it goes to your bloodstream and it's highly toxic. When I use coffee the other way, it goes almost like straight to your liver, but it doesn't go to your bloodstream. So it pretty much is going to provocate your liver. And how that's going to help? The liver produces bile, that is storage in your gallbladder, but it's produced actually by the liver. And so what the liver does, what the bile is going to do is, it's going to break down your food, but it breaks down also toxins. So by using the coffee, the liver suddenly produces a higher amount of bile that is going to help to break down more toxins. So it's, I almost always, in the end of the treatment, I start using coffee to break down toxins. But almost always I use grass for everybody. And the reason is the grass is not the grass itself, but it's more because it has chlorophyll, and chlorophyll also helps to break down toxins, and chlorophyll also really helps when I put it in. It's going to help to break down the fecal matter that it's there for so long. I used to use a lot this example. If you imagine your colon as a pipe where stool pass for years and years and years and years, you cannot just decide, like special woman going to understand me, when you decide to clean your house, you cannot just go there, oh, today I'm going to clean this pipe, and pick up a cloth and think you're going to be able to take everything out. You need to soak it. And soak it and soak it to break down what's around. So that's pretty much what a colonic is going to do. And some of the things mixed with the water, like chlorophyll, will help me in that process. Lots of times also I ask people to do at home a castor oil compress, because the castor oil has this amazing property that is going really deep. And so he can actually reach there, and he's going to help me to break down the hard stool, especially for people with constipation. And he actually stimulates the liver to detox.
You put it on the outside?
On the outside?
Yeah, I put in the outside. Normally what I do is I buy organic castor oil, and with a cheesecloth or very old face cloth, you just soak it totally with castor oil. I like to warm it up a little bit, not too much because it's going in your skin. And then what you do is you put it right here in the top of your stomach. I like it sometimes also to put actually in my liver. And then I wrapped with saran wrap because that thing drips all over. And then I put a warm bottle or magic bag in the top, and I just lie down like that for around an hour.
And
Yeah,
what
I
is it
really
supposed to
like
do?
it.
Like, I know that my mom, growing up as a child, I used to be constipated all the time, and so I used to get the suppositories,
Yeah.
right, or castor oil,
Yeah.
right, and it was obviously just because of the, but it was internally. Now,
Yeah.
is it better to put it on top?
I don't really like it internally because it gives you horrible cramps, and
Okay.
you will go, but the payoff
Yeah.
is horrible.
Yeah, I remember someone told me before I gave birth, drink a whole bunch of castor oil.
And and that's the same, like lots of people go to colonoscopy and they take all that stuff. That is horrible, and it's actually really dangerous for old people.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's much safer to just do the preparation with colon hydrotherapy.
Okay, and I was going to ask you about the small children being constipated, like, say a 3-year-old, holding it for 3 days, like that. Is that too long to be holding? You should be going, yeah.
It is, and especially like we should go at least 3 times a day. And the child, normally the main reason is diet.
Yeah.
And lots of people say kids don't like vegetables. I'm going to be hard, but I really think, the kids eat what you eat. So if you eat healthy, they eat healthy too. So if you start changing a little bit your diet, they change too.
Do you recommend for someone that young, like the probiotics? Like, there's a lot of talk about the probiotics, like in yogurt and all your acidophilus and your bifidus. Do you recommend a high concentration or like?
I highly recommend. Yeah, I think children should take that. I have it always at home, and especially when they are getting sick and all that. Yes, I really recommend that. I don't recommend the ones because there's a big fashion now. Everything has probiotics. I don't know if you noticed that on TV. And there's lots of yogurts that they say they are highly probiotics, but the high level of sugar and the starch is so high that it's not benefit. So if you give them like a really nice organic yogurt, it has lots of acidophils, and then what you can do is you can smash some fruit and mix with, or there's really nice probiotics that you can buy in natural food store that are powder, and so you can actually mix in the yogurt. But one thing you need to pay attention with acidophils is because it's a fashion now, they are selling them everywhere. Acidophils is a live bacteria. So if it's in the light and in the shelf for a long period of time, you are paying for that bacteria. So there's no use to that. So I really recommend you to spend a little more money and buy high quality acidophils. I'm kind of over time, so
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed.